So after a really tough 7 weeks consisting of training nearly every single day in preparation for the new season, pre-season is now complete. And so if you're new here, I'm Anthony, a current professional footballer playing in the English Football League for Crawley Town. I've had my fair share of good moments and bad moments in football, which have all been widely shown on my socials throughout the years. And that's to give you guys a full insight as to what life is actually like as a pro footballer, the realities of it, which you may not see elsewhere. So in today's video, I'll be taking you through a full day in my life, including training clips both in the gym and on the pitch, as well as that showing you exactly how I fuel up as a professional footballer during the season. And so without further ado, let's get straight into this one. So this is my go-to pretty much every single morning. It doesn't change at all. We've got the bagel for the hit of carbs for the training session ahead. We also have eggs for protein, as always. Doesn't really change. On a recovery day, I will probably throw some avocado in just for the healthy fats and to help with inflammation and recovery. But pretty much this is what I have every single morning. Really simple, 2 bagels, 4 eggs, and then I'll have some electrolytes on the side as well. I always talk about electrolytes, how important they are to stay fully hydrated throughout the day. So I'll have maybe 3 or 4 tablets a day. I do go through quite a few tubs of electrolytes, but really important we're staying fully hydrated. I've noticed a big improvement in my hydration since I've started taking them. So that's not going to change. Electrolytes every morning, 1 tablet every 500 milliliters of water. I'll try and get that down me at least in the first hour of waking up. I did used to have yogurt and fruit on the side, but I've scrapped that completely just because I want to feel as light and fresh as possible going into the training session ahead. It is Tuesday today, so it is a big, tough session ahead. It's toughest day of the week, Tuesday usually, just as we're leading up to Saturday's game. So this is the full supplement stack here. As you can see, there's a range of different brands, simply because I'm not sponsored by any brands. So if there are any brands watching this video and you want to sponsor me, hit me up in the DMs. But anyway, I do try and keep it as minimal and basic as possible, as I do try and get most of my vitamins and minerals from food. Once again, for those watching this video, of course you can copy me if there's something that you might be missing in your diet, but this isn't going to change your all-round performance. But anyway, as you can see, we have daily omega-3 fish oil here. Again, really good for heart function and inflammation, so it's also good for recovery. Now, you can also get this in food, especially in fish, but I do try and limit my fish intake to around 1 to 2 times per week. So I'll take this once a day in the morning. There's also this Cardio Plus supplement I take from 10% Club, as you can see here. Again, this just helps with athletic performance and endurance. I was taking this throughout off season just because we're running literally every single day, as well as when we got back to pre-season as well. So I needed anything to help me. Again, all natural, so you can take as many of these as possible. And again, from 10% Club, we also have these unwind and sleep supplements here. Again, I think this contains zinc and magnesium, so it's also really good to get you into a deeper sleep and also improve your melatonin levels so that you're falling asleep a lot faster. Of course, you guys know about electrolytes. I go on about these literally every single day. I'll be taking these at least 3 to 4 times every single day, just like I was having with my breakfast. And this is just to keep you fully hydrated throughout the day. It has all the sodium, potassium, magnesium that you need to stay fully hydrated, and it will help you avoid cramps during your games and training as well. Also, this vitamin D3 and K2 supplement, which I take because of the lack of sunlight in the UK. And something which I've added recently into my supplement stack is this collagen. You can also get these in liquid form, and you can take them as a shot. I just prefer to take 1 tablet every single morning, and again, it's just to help reduce soft tissue injuries. And lastly, just to complete it, I know a lot of you guys will be asking me, what about whey protein? Now, to keep it really simple, I do get most of my protein from a lot of the foods that I eat, whether that's breakfast, lunch and dinner. I did used to track my calories and also the amount of protein I was getting in, but I kind of gauge and I kind of know exactly what I eat on an everyday basis. So I don't usually take whey protein. The only time I'll take this is after a really tough training session, even after a match day as well, just because we're trying to get as much protein on board to kickstart the recovery process as quickly as possible. Or if throughout the day I haven't hit my protein levels, then I'll quickly throw this in with some of my water, whether it's 35 grams of protein, just to get it in. It is a really good alternative, but I would always recommend, just like all of these supplements here, that you're getting most of your supplements, you're getting most of your vitamins, your protein, whatever it might be, you're getting most of it from your food. That's the most natural way. That's the best way to get it. But of course, if you can't on an everyday basis, that's when supplements come in. They can be a really good alternative. So straight into training, and as this was a Tuesday session, this is usually our toughest day of the week in terms of distance covered and intensity, all in preparation for Saturday's game. Now the session consisted of passing drills, small-sided games, and I did finish off with some extras at the end just to try and improve that little bit more. After training, we was then straight into the gym doing a full lower body session. Now, just because we're in season doesn't mean the gym work stops. I usually stick to at least 3 gym sessions per week, 1 upper body session, lower body session, and full body session, trying to build as much strength and power as possible. Right, so that is training done, double session day complete. Like I always say, Tuesday is our toughest day of the week, especially when we don't have a game, just because we have a day off tomorrow. We then train on Thursday, light session on Friday, all in preparation for Saturday's game. As you guys saw with the brief training clips, it was quite a tough session. We've done around 8 kilometers in distance, so it was close to a match day. Usually on match days, you're covering around 10 to 12 kilometers, obviously dependent on what position you play on the pitch. Now, a reason I haven't been so active over the last month or two on YouTube is just because of how busy I've been. As you guys would have seen throughout the off season, I was away trying to enjoy it as much as possible, but I was also training really hard on the side as well. Now, we returned to pre-season, which lasts around 6 to 7 weeks. It was really tough. As you can imagine, we're running nearly every single day, training nearly every single day as well, and games will come in every 2 days. So my body was completely shattered. We're doing double session days basically every single day, so my full focus was just on recovering for the next day of training. And especially during the season, I'm not one to nap, but I was napping literally every single day just because my body was so fatigued. But if you guys were keeping up to date with my socials, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, over the last few weeks, you would have seen we did actually go to Spain for a pre-season trip. It was really tough. We were out there for 7 days, double session day every single day, in the gym, on the pitch, in the 35-degree heat as well. That's why I always recommend for all footballers, especially during the off season when you get time off, is to get away, get on holiday, get to a hot country and train out there. But yeah, overall pre-season went really well. We had games every 2 days, so they're coming quick and fast. Everyone got quite a lot of minutes, and I'm in really good physical shape right now. The goal is to continue that, working hard in the gym and on the pitch, just so we're making as much improvement all the time. And obviously when you're training really hard, doing double session days every day, it's really important your lifestyle habits are looked after as well. So things like your hydration, nutrition and sleep. I do really prioritize my sleep, so I try and get around 8 to 9 hours of sleep at night every single day. Hydration is simple as well. I do try and get at least 3 to 4 liters in with added electrolytes as well. And throughout this video, you'll see all of my meals throughout the day, always high in carbs, high in protein, and most of the time high in fats and fiber as well, just so we're getting as much calories in and we're really refueling our body up as much as possible. And I do really want you guys to know how important it is to fuel your body correctly on a daily basis. Not only is it going to help with your performances in training and during games, but you are really reducing your risk of injury as well, whether you're in the gym or on the pitch. But anyway, we're around 10 minutes away from the house. We're going to get back, recover as much as possible, and then it's all about preparing dinner and preparing ourselves for a big recovery day tomorrow. So I've actually been meaning to show you guys something I've been using over the last few weeks, especially during pre-season, and it's just to help with my physical data and also my physical progress. And to keep it really simple, it's a professional in-body scan, which I use pretty much every day after training. So all I do is step on it to weigh myself in, and it instantly syncs to the HumeHealth app, where I can see over 40 different health metrics. And so as you guys would know, I'm quite specific with how I like to track my sleep, my weight goals and things like that. And that's exactly what this body pod allows me to do. To keep it really simple, it's the world's first body pod that you can use at home. And it breaks down specific stats from things like your arms, your legs and your torso, body fat percentage and even muscle mass. And so if you'd like your very own body pod by HumeHealth, you can get 20% off using the link in the description or by using code Antony at checkout. So for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you'd know as soon as training is done for the day, gym, pitch session is done, we're straight into these compression boots. So important, as usual, just to flush out all the lactic acid and just to help us reduce inflammation. And we do have a day off tomorrow. Like I said, today it was a Tuesday, so Wednesdays is usually our day off. We usually have Wednesday and Sunday as our days off. But I jump on these compression boots, really good. I try and do these for at least 20 to 40 minutes a day. So I'll do a 20-minute set now, straight out for 20 minutes. Highest setting on these compression boots is 200. I'm not sure if it's the same with other compression boots, but I'll put it on the highest setting. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but I'll do that for 20 minutes. I'll be chilling here, usually do some work on my app, but since I'm recording this video, I can talk to you guys whilst I'm doing it. So I'll do 20 minutes now, and then potentially in the evening as well, depending on how I'm feeling, how fatigued I am, I'll do another 20 minutes later. This is probably one of the best recovery methods that I do, which requires literally zero effort, and I try and do it every single day after training. The results speak for itself. My Whoop, which I'm going to talk about as well, tells me that my recovery score does increase by 11% when I do use these on an everyday basis. So that's why I try and implement it into my schedule every single day. Yeah, really simple. They are quite expensive, but I definitely would recommend them, especially if you train nearly every single day. It's a really good recovery method, increases blood flow all throughout your legs, and we'll notice a big difference in your recovery levels as well. Anyway, that's that said. Throughout this video, you guys might have heard me mention about my training app that I have. So if you guys are new here, I have my own training platform. It's available on iOS and Android, and it has literally everything that I know on how to increase your performance as a footballer. I've put and condensed into this one app. So I've been a professional footballer now for around 5 to 6 years. So I've learned from so many top professionals who have had really long careers in the game. As well as that, I've also learned from a lot of physios, a lot of sports scientists, head of performance coaches, doctors, and I've tried to absorb as much as I can over the last few years. So of course, I've put all of that into this training app, but if you are interested in it, click the link in the comment section or click the link in the description and it will take you right to my website where you can download it. Anyway, that's all of that done. For the rest of the day, we're going to do some work on my training app. We're going to make dinner later on as well, which I'll show you guys exactly how we're refueling, because we do have a recovery day tomorrow. So our meals today are going to be a lot bigger in carbs, protein, fiber, and even calories, just so we're recovering as much as possible going into tomorrow's recovery day, and then another big session on Thursday. And again, from Monday to Friday, it's all about preparing for Saturday's game, so we're ready physically and mentally for the game ahead. So that is dinner done, as you guys saw. It's around 300 grams of minced lean beef. We also have white potatoes underneath it, and I did manage to find some broccoli as well. So we have some greens going with it just for the added fiber as well. So like I say, with all of my meals, especially in season and when we're leading up to a game, and especially after we've done a tough session, always high in carbs, always high in protein. And of course, you want to make your plate as colorful as possible. I was told that by a nutritionist a couple years ago, and I've stuck by it ever since. You want to put as much on your plate as possible. You want to make it different colors, and that's how you get the most vitamins and minerals. I was told that years ago, stuck by it, and this is how I pretty much make my meals nowadays. I try and put as much variation just so it doesn't get boring as well whilst you're eating it. And when it comes to red meat and things like fish as well, I do tend to only eat 1 to 2 times per week. Reason being, of course, because it is high in fat, it does take a lot longer for the carbs to break down into your bloodstream. And we do always stick to a high carb diet as well, just for the added energy, especially during the season, so we have enough energy and fuel during training and during games. So my nutrition has slightly stayed the same. My meals, especially breakfast, lunch and dinner, the 3 meals throughout the day are always going to be big. You'll see later on as to what I have as a snack throughout the day as well. It doesn't really change. Again, I kind of eat just for fuel. I don't really eat for enjoyment. Of course, when I go out and stuff, that's when I'll really try and enjoy my food. But for now, it's all about getting as much protein, carbs, fiber into my system, just so I've got enough energy, enough fuel, and I'm recovering as best as possible, all for performance. And the full meal and recipe is available on my app again, so you can download it using the link in the description. So time is currently about 8:30 in the evening, and usually right now my go-to would be a little bit of Greek yogurt with some fruit. Now unfortunately, desperate times call for desperate measures. As you can see, there's no Greek yogurt in the fridge, so I do have a vanilla high protein yogurt. Now this is kind of a cheat meal. I wouldn't usually have this, but like I said, we don't have any Greek yogurt, so to get our protein in for the day, we're going to take this out. 25 grams of protein, I'll show you that as well. And I would usually mix the Greek yogurt with some fruit. I do have some grapes here, usually have some grapes and berries, but again, as I did get home last night, I don't actually have any berries, so we're just working with what we're given right now. I will show you exactly what I'm getting. Again, I always aim for high carbs, high protein. This will be my last little snack of the day. And then that'll lead us good going into the night. I won't eat anything else for the rest of the day, so we have a good sleep tonight. Hopefully get around 7 to 8 hours, hopefully even 9, depending on what time I get to bed. And we'll be up nice and early tomorrow for training. And this will be my last meal. I won't drink anything after 9 o'clock as well, but I will go through my hydration a little bit later on as well. So as you can see, we've got some seedless red grapes, and we also have the vanilla high protein yogurt. Like I said, wouldn't usually go for this, but desperate times call for desperate measures, as we don't have any Greek yogurt. So I would usually replace this with normal Greek yogurt, but it's a good way to quickly get your protein in. 25 grams, a little bit of grapes on the side for that added carbs and sugar for tomorrow's training session as well. So it's now the new day, it's Wednesday, recovery day. I'm actually just on a quick little morning walk because it is just part of my morning routine, especially on recovery days. I like to get out and about, and as you can see, for England, it is a beautiful day as well. But nevertheless, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hope I gave you a little bit more of an insight as to what my nutrition, hydration, and even my training looks like, especially during the season. We are now past game week 1, so we've got around 45 games left of the season. It's going to be a long one, hopefully a really successful one as well. So yeah, I hope you guys fully enjoyed that video. Of course, if there's any other content you guys would like to see, I've got so much more in mind, but if there's anything else you'd like to see, just drop down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll be sure to bring out as much content for you guys as possible this season. It's going to be a big season, hopefully a really successful one, both with my club and individually as well. If you want to stay up to date with exactly what I'm doing on a daily basis, of course we can't do it so much with YouTube, but if you want to stay up to date with exactly what I'm doing every single day, follow my Instagrams, even my TikToks. Link is in the description of this video. Subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for at least, I think, 20k now on YouTube. We're trying to push. This year we're going for a big milestone, hopefully 50 to 100k. So we're going to be pushing out a lot of content. But nevertheless, hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, comment down below what you guys would like to see next. And if you'd like to download my training app, of course, click the link in the description as well. So I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next one.